Well, this is a fine howdy doody. This video is going to be a bit different from what I normally upload. I thought I'd experiment a little bit, mix things up on the channel a little bit, talking about something that has been on my mind for quite a while, and that's the current state of Helldivers 2. Now, you know me, I've done a few videos on Helldivers 2. It's not like the main content I do, but I play a lot of the game in my own time. And over the last few weeks, I've noticed some changes happening with the community with this game. So first off, let's get this out the way. The Ask Me Anything. Someone at Arrowhead went onto the Helldivers Unfiltered subreddit and started an Ask Me Anything. And to say that the Ask Me Anything was a train wreck would be the understatement of a goddamn century. We've been pushing hard to meet what we can see as expectation on content of each new update, but unfortunately that means the team is forced to down-prioritise what we already have in favour of novelty. We don't have enough time. Helldivers is designed, it isn't supposed to be a balanced game. We've been pushing hard as of late to achieve optional excellence, which means to deliver great builds without bugs on time. Perks and transmog is something that we need to update due to the original vision exploding. However, this is not happening right now. Weapon customization was deemed as not as significant in resolving the lack of progression. It is currently being down-prioritied. Endgame. Oh, you sweet endgame summer child. Not enough time. We are working towards improving the Galactic War, and over the next years, you will have more power in the Galactic War. Years! We're working on a long-term plan to make the Galactic War even more interesting and more flexible. However, this is a year plus off. We are not pulling the mechs from the latest war bond. We have an initiative to do better. This includes streams, Q&As and other things to be more close to y'all. In terms of shadow nerf, we missed track of what was done. When you balance things, you turn a lot of knobs and you have to take care of notes or extract it later. Bugs and performance being fixed may change mechanics a bit. Coyote! There is no truth to what players want. Samples, I'm a bit ashamed we don't have more sample uses. We're focusing a lot more on the mid-game, because that's where most players are. Yeah, that wasn't very good at all now, was it? So, because of the AMA, a lot of the frustrated community that are upset over the state of the game got even more upset, and I don't know why. The reason people are unsatisfied is because a lot of the answers in this Ask Me Anything are either, we might do it later on down the line, we totally hear your feedback, it's something we'll bring up at some point, it's down prioritied. It really does seem like a lot of the answers they gave either didn't actually answer some of the questions that were asked, or were just written off as, maybe we'll do it in the future. Now, do I think the AMA was terrible? Yes. But I like to look on the positive of things. We're actually getting some communication with the team. That's one of the things that I think have been lacking with Helldivers recently, is we haven't actually had much talks with the developers. The communication has just been kind of non-existent. Like, some of the devs will post on Reddit or Discord, but that's it. It's very one-sided. A lot of people really do feel like, though, that the devs are just against them. Look at the Hive Guard changes. Like a week or two ago, they announced an update to the Hive Guards to make the, shell part and make their, head and whatever, heavy armor. A lot of players did not like this, and they ended up having to revert it. Or the state of the durable damage nerfs. A few updates ago, I would have told you that sentries are genuinely some of the most reliable and solid options you could bring to any front. Now I feel like they're complete dog shit, all because of a few durable damage changes. And you have the actual Galactic War, where it just feels like, we're suffering antagonistic DM syndrome, where it feels like the changes made are just there to inconvenience and screw us rather than actually make the game enjoyable. All this to say, I think we need to ask ourselves a serious question. What does Helldivers 2 need? What does the game need to curb the player frustration, satisfy the community, while still sticking to the core thing that makes Helldivers, Helldivers? You know, I've got a few areas I think that the game could really improve upon. Because as it stands right now, the game is in a weird state. It really feels like I'm in a filler arc right now with Helldivers. I think we need better progression. This is something the devs have literally been against going for, and the reason they don't want to touch progression is because they want to focus on the mid-game. I'm sorry, I think that's bollocks. I have about 120 hours on Helldivers 2. I'm level like 62. I would consider myself to be in the mid-game. I'm still trying to get a bunch of ship modules. I'm working through war bonds. I would say I'm in the mid-game, and I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah, no, the mid-game is still not very good progression-wise, because it feels like nowadays the only progression we have is the form of war bonds. War bonds are cool, but once you've unlocked everything in the war bond in the span of like maybe a couple weeks, like, what is there left to do? You have to wait 6 weeks every single time a war bond comes out, and once you've played with all the little gadgets and toys, you've just got nothing to do. And I don't really see how that helps players in the mid game like me. You know, instead of just only focusing on war bonds and like, I don't know, Oasis planets, maybe we should focus on giving players more of a reason to continue playing your game. Progression is important, because if we don't have a good solid source of progression or something to work towards, a lot of people are not even going to bother playing your game. War bonds, you know, a couple of new units and a couple new biomes, that's not enough. They're cool, but they're a novelty at best. It's not going to be what keeps people playing the game. You know what is going to get people to play the game? Big updates like Cyberstan, new things to work towards. Maybe we should get some new ship modules. Maybe make weapon leveling more worthwhile. Give us more customization with weapons. Because as it stands right now, that once you get past level like 25, there's no point in leveling. Maybe every 50 levels, like one of the people in the AMA said, we could get a Warbond token. Maybe every like 10 levels or so, alongside the title, maybe you get a new cape that you can wear, which helps to show your progression. You know, I feel like when you're leveling, you need a cycle of continuously unlocking stuff. Otherwise, why do you even have a level system? Ship modules haven't been touched upon in a while, and the devs did say that, hey, we got some big stuff coming for ship modules soon. What, we're gonna get like one module for each one, and then we're gonna go back to having nothing to spend our samples on? You know, if you want to get samples, you gotta interact with the Galactic War. Which goes on to my second point. We need better Galactic War interaction. Right now, I'm gonna be honest, major orders don't feel good to play. Like, the last however many major orders, we've been doing nothing but planet defense and losing a ton of territory. And it's getting to the point now where the game doesn't really feel like you're all working towards like a proper battle. It feels like we're following a script. Maybe that's the point. I couldn't tell you. You know, this game is supposed to be a bit of a parody, so maybe we are supposed to feel like we're following a script. A blind soldier following orders, not thinking or acting for ourselves. I think the best way we can sort this out is, I think first off, we need more major order variety. Maybe this is recency bias speaking, but I'm so fucking sick and tired of doing planet defenses. I've had to do it for like 2 months straight. I'm so tired of it. Another way we could do it is with strategic opportunities. I'm gonna be so dead ass. What do strategic opportunities even do? I'm so dead ass. The last how many strategic opportunities we've had in the game have felt like they've done nothing but just take people away from the major orders for no apparent reason or gain. Maybe improve strategic opportunities so that they can actually do something, actually feel like we're taking a strategic opportunity, which apparently that is what they used to do, but now they just don't do fuck all. Or make it so that if you complete a strategic opportunity, it helps towards the major order. Maybe we get like a huge increase of planetary gain, for example. If we need to take over a planet, you know, we get like a huge percentage boost for going through the strategic order. Maybe have strategic orders towards the new major order for every single faction, so it feels like you can play whichever front you want and still feel like you're contributing. Because as it stands right now, it's not in a great state. I'm starting to get pretty tired, boss. I'm tired of major orders. Third thing we need communication and feedback. It feels like we as players are just being completely ignored and our words are falling on deaf's ears. No matter how much we ask, how much we beg, how much we're saying this change isn't good, it doesn't feel like we're being listened to. They listened with the Hive Guard changes, which is good. Personally, I didn't mind them. But we need more. Durable damage needs to go back to pre-Cyberstan levels. Oh my god, turrets are useless. Mechs are only slightly less shittier than they used to be. Cars? Sadly, no one uses cars. Like, it feels a bit weird to have a sentry suddenly be able to hold its own, and then suddenly it's made out of paper mache. Why are our tanks less tankier than a Hive Guard? Not only do I think we need to see some communication from the devs on what they're actually trying to do for, like, the next year or so of Helldivers, because we only get, like, tiny little roadmaps that don't really tell us anything. What is the, like, longevity of Helldivers for like a year? What is your plan? Because the only time I feel like I hear from Arrowhead is when they're announcing a new war bond or a new enemy to fight or a new biome, and not actually what their plan is for the game. We need to know what is going on with the game or any potential changes you are considering making to the game. Feedback is so important. Actions speak louder than words. It's been nearly 2 weeks since we've had the Ask Me Anything, and we haven't really seen any action. It feels like we're back to square one. We haven't had any, like, update on the situation since the Ask Me Anything happened. It feels like we're going back to where we were before. If you want a good example of a company that knows how to communicate with their fan base and inform them of what's going on in the game, have a look at Digital Extremes. They host basically weekly streams going over Warframe, what they're planning on doing, what additions are coming to the game, getting feedback from the community, answering questions. That is a company that has a lot of good standing, and they're widely considered to be one of the more respected developers in the scene. For my fourth point, Arrowhead needs to adjust. Arrowhead's core philosophy for Helldivers 2 is a game for everyone is a game for no one. And that is true. You can't make a game that every single person in the world is going to love and enjoy. But I feel like we should make our own slogan here. And that is that an update nobody asked for is an update that shouldn't exist. I don't think anybody was asking for Hive Guards to get armor buffs. I don't think anyone asked for the durable damage to make all of our vehicles feel like made out of someone's cum sock. Nobody asked for vehicles that were originally always given away for free to suddenly be locked in a war bond. For you to continuously only really touch up on game mechanics such as stealth, exomechs, fire, stuff like that. It feels like you only touch up on that stuff when you can sell the solution in a war bond. By the way, holy, I need to adjust the colours on this webcam. I look like I got fat lipstick. A good reason we're frustrated is because of your baffling decision making, your lack of communication, and the bleak view that we have of the future of the game. Because the only people that know what's going on with the development of this game is you. We'd like to know what's going on. And please, stop contradicting yourselves. You had a patch note that said that automatons and Illumina are in a good place when it comes to their durable damage. But you buff their durable damage in the same patch. The game feels focused on monetization rather than delivering a well and truly enjoyable experience. Goodwill is something a developer should treat as a currency. And nowadays, a lot of the community would say that you have bled out a lot of that goodwill. I just want to see this game that I'm investing a lot of time into and I'm going to continue to invest a lot of time into to improve. I don't want to feel like I'm playing a game where the devs only care about money. The only people that can really fix that view on themselves is the devs. You need to lock in that and progression are the two main things. I've kept this video more on the civil side, and if we're going to talk about it in the comments, I can only ask that you do the same. But if you enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like and a subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, where it's like a bit more scripted, structured, talking about stuff that I have a passion for, you know, hearing me waffle on, let me know in the comments down below. But thanks as always for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care, and fare thee well, Helldivers.